Phoenix, Arizona. This extreme environment demands innovation.
Originally from Chicago, coming out here was a major change. That whole Midwestern thought about how buildings are done is completely different from the mindset of what we're doing out here.
In the desert climate, you have very cold nights, extremely hot days. And the abuse that the house is taking all day long, and a less durable product will break down over time.
We're dealing with materials in ways very different than they would ever be used in the Midwest or on the East Coast.
Oh, if it makes it here, it can make it anywhere, yeah. Phoenix area, we have a very tough climate in heating and cooling costs.
Of course, everything that's happening in the world with energy is becoming so obvious now.
I have a brother that lives in the valley. He's telling me horror stories on the $300, $400, $500 a month electric bill to cool your house in the summertime.
People don't want to waste money on energy. And so if I can show them a way that's going to make their house more energy efficient, they're all ears.
What became very important to me is that not only can I be energy efficient, but I have a way to be sustainable and environmentally friendly as well.
The energy savings are very important to us because these are big buildings and they're used by the people who pay the way to have the church here. The money I put in the plate is what's going to go to pay for the electricity.
I have homeowners that are living in 3,500 square foot homes. Highest electric bill of $110 in the summertime.
The July bill, when it comes in, it's $180. And we keep the house comfortable. It's not that we're keeping the house at 85 degrees.
No, I like to be comfortable.
Bills of less than $250 are the norm. As a product, it's got great advantages. Energy efficiency, the thermal mass of the block, which retains the coolness or the heat that you put into it, gives the room an overall even temperature.
It's like being in a cave. If you're ever in a cave in the summertime, it's very cool in there, but what's happening is those mass walls are absorbing any heat out of our body, therefore making it feel cooler. Less temperature swings, both during the summer and also the winter.
So what we want to do is resist the heat from transferring in or out of the building, and we do that by offsetting the crosswebs, constricting the crosswebs, and putting a middle lineal wall within the block. Those offset crosswebs and that middle lineal wall create cells that we fill with foam insulation.
A different environment. The temperature is basically always the same.
The thermal lag is the time that it takes for the heat to move through the block, and we accomplish that by those offset crosswebs and putting a middle lineal wall in the block so that that would heat up before the inside would heat up.
I like to be comfortable, consistently comfortable. I don't want the furnace to go on, get hot, take your sweater off, get cold.
The reason that you see a uniform temperatured wall is because of the design of the inserts. I designed and patented these foam inserts to be non-mortar interfering. And by that I mean when the mason slides the insert into the block, it goes in easily, but it doesn't interfere with the weepage of the mortar to the inside. And if you don't have a notch in the foam to allow for that weepage, the foam wouldn't fit into the cavity of the block. The end effect of this design is a more comfortable room.
We keep it set at 65 and it's comfortable in there all the time.
I just like to think of it as a very simple design with very high-tech results.
OmniBlock is just amazing how quiet it is.
It's so peaceful, it's so quiet. Very seldom do I go into a church building that doesn't have outside noise. You don't have that here.
That deadening silence of those walls is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Mold does not grow on concrete block.
The OmniBlock would definitely cut down on having a mold problem.
Don't think they've invented the termite yet that's going to start eating a masonry product.
We have not had one critter.
And I don't know if it's my cat or OmniBlock, but I don't see a lot of bugs in the house like a lot of other neighbors talk about. So it might be the block or my cat's done a good job.
By far, the biggest misconception is the cost. They've all been educated the cost of building a block home is substantially more than frame, and it just isn't the case.
Most people ask me right away, say, well, how much more is OmniBlock? Because inherently they know that it's more money, it's worth more money. They see more quality, they see more durability, they see something that's going to hold their investment.
It's comparable in price, but it's a far superior quality product.
So common sense says if you can get something better for the same price, why wouldn't you do it?
OmniBlock is engineered just the same as standard CMU that you would use in any commercial construction.
The block dimensions overall are basically identical to a standard CMU, 8 by 8 by 16.
Designers will come back and tell us all the time, designers and architects for that matter, that it's very easy to design with OmniBlock.
We're able to pretty much design anything we want in terms of still using OmniBlock as the primary wall system, but everything is modular, so it's easy to follow.
We design everything on a block module, even if it is a frame wall, just because it just makes sense.
With my years of experience, I have not found that OmniBlock has limited my creativity at all.
The configuration is a little different, so the numbers that you use are slightly different, but the design methods are all exactly the same.
We can polish our block, we can split our block, we can leave the block exposed, we can stain the block. So there's a lot of finishes and a lot of options from a designer that he doesn't have that option with wood frame.
Whether it's drywall, stucco, Venetian plaster, colored plaster, it hasn't presented a problem.
It doesn't really take us any more time to design a home built out of OmniBlock.
And I think the block just doesn't limit us to anything like some materials would. It doesn't limit us.
Block is safer to live in. If you look at all the destruction that Hurricane Katrina caused and tornadoes caused, it's a lot safer to be in OmniBlock homes.
The inspector says, wow, okay, he says, I've never seen a house built this sturdy. He says, if we had an earthquake here, this house ain't going nowhere. He says, I'd never seen anything like it. And this guy does this for a living.
When we had the Cave Creek fire, our neighbors had mentioned to us, well, if the fire gets down to us, our houses will be gone and yours will be the only house left in the subdivision because of the fireproof of the block. There's nothing for it to burn.
So between the hurricanes or fire, you're absolutely ahead of the game.
You don't have near the maintenance that you do with an OmniBlock home versus a wood frame home that the stucco cracks, etc.
You'll see these white silicone streaks all up and down these frame homes, and we have very little of that happening in the block homes.
When they come out for the 2-year checkup here, it was obvious. It stood out so much, even my neighbors all know. So that's all they're fixing on your house?
People live in these homes and realize that the ongoing maintenance is dramatically less than a wood frame home.
There is a lot more maintenance with wood than block because wood dries out, splits, crack.
With us, we'll never see any cracks, ever. It just won't happen.
And what's nice about it is masons know how to lay it, electricians know how to come in afterwards, plumbers the same thing, engineers know how to engineer with the block, architects know how to design with block.
We all know the energy costs are going to go up. Their building is going to be more comfortable, safer, responsible, energy efficient, healthier.
They come back to me and say, thank you, this is a great product, how come I've never heard of it? And I said, well, you will.
It's a great idea. For a simple product, you make some very intelligent alterations and pretty much anybody can use it.
The OmniBlock just makes sense. It's pretty simple technology. It works.
If I had to build a new house, which I doubt I ever will, because I love this house, I would definitely do another OmniBlock house.
We're seeing people who are not in their first OmniBlock house, maybe in their second or third OmniBlock house.
And that I can say with a straight face because it's the truth. We have just been nothing but pleased. The other buildings we have, we wish we could go back and put OmniBlock up, to tell you the truth.